Now, from CBS 4 News, this is Facing South Florida with Jim DeFede.
Good morning, I'm Jim DeFede, and welcome to Facing South Florida. This Thursday will mark 1 year since the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. 14 students and 3 adults were killed. Another 17 students were injured. Unlike previous mass shootings in this country, the shooting in Parkland has not faded with time. The anger and the demands for change continue. And the reason for that is the drive and commitment of the survivors, the students and parents who have not let up. We have one of them here with us today. Manuel Oliver, whose son Joaquin was killed in the shooting, joins us this morning. Manuel, thank you very much for coming in. I know these are difficult times, but I think one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you in is because of something remarkable that happened this week in Washington. There were a couple of things. One, obviously, the president failed to even mention the Parkland shooting in the State of the Union address. But the second was a hearing that the Democrats held in the Judiciary Committee on gun violence. And we heard some amazing words from one of the students who was shot. I want to play, before I turn to you, I want to play the sound from Aaliyah Eastman, who described what it was like for her that morning. She's now a senior, she was a junior, and was in the freshman building at the time of the shooting. Let's play that sound.
I could never have imagined my group partner, Nicholas Dorette, would have saved my life in moments to come. After our presentations, we began to hear loud pops. When the gunman shot into our classroom, Nicholas Dorette was in front of me. The gunman's bullets killed him and Helena Ramsey. As Nicholas fell, I matched his every movement and hid underneath his lifeless body as bullets riddled my classmates. I thought I was going to die. As I laid there, I begged God to please make it fast. When the shooter moved on to another classroom, I rolled Nicholas off of me and placed his head on his arm so it wouldn't be touching the cold ground. My classmates pulled me behind a filing cabinet where I called my mom and my dad to say what I thought would be my last goodbyes. I told them how much I loved them and my brothers. I will never forget that day, what I saw, what I did, what happened to my classmates. I will never forget Nicholas Dorette, who in death protected me. He saved my life.
You were sitting, you could see you in the background just 2 rows away. I can't even imagine. I'm incredibly moved listening to it now. What was it like to sit there and be there in hearing her say that story?
Well, number one, I know this girl. She's been doing great things, not only her words during that hearing, but I know her as an activist, and she's doing amazing things along with the other kids. It's not only that I'm sitting right behind her, I have Nick's dad next to me. I have Fred on this side sitting next to me, and I have Mitch, which is Nick's dad. The kid that she's talking about was shot.
His father is sitting right next to you.
His father is sitting next to me, and I'm holding, if you see the video, you see me turning back to this side. I'm holding Mitch's hand because I know how he's feeling after her words. Of course, these words should affect anyone. You don't have to be in our position to understand what she's talking about. This is a reality. On the other hand, she's not bringing a story that she was able to do with a group of people that decided to. No, this is a reality. This girl, along with many other kids from that same school, heard the shots that murdered my son and Fred's daughter, and all the kids and all the teachers from Douglas. Now, what is it that really should be a concern for us is that is it still happening? While she was talking, and this is how sensitive time is in this situation, some other kid was getting shot. While we are talking here, someone else is getting shot.
One of the things that she's been a real advocate for is, while Parkland has received so much attention, she also talks about the everyday killings, just as you were sort of saying, particularly affecting, African American and Hispanic communities, lower income communities who are seeing their kids die on a regular basis, whether it's in Liberty City or Overtown or other parts of South Florida. And she addresses that concern too, because not everyone has the platform and megaphone that the folks from Parkland have had. But there was something else remarkable about that hearing, because, and I wanted to play Aaliyah's sound first to keep us focused on what is important, which is
what really matters.
What really matters. But yet somehow, having heard those words, we then saw a congressman from Florida, Matt Gaetz, who represents the Panhandle area, but who was actually born in Broward County, say this. So let's play Matt Gaetz' sound now.
I hope we do not forget the pain and anguish and sense of loss felt by those all over the country who have been the victims of violence at the hands of illegal aliens. H.R. 8 would not have stopped many of the circumstances I raised, but a wall, a barrier on the southern border may have, and that's what we're fighting for.
Mr. Chairman.
Well,
Gentlemen will suspend.
So he used this as a political moment to advocate on behalf of the wall and make a specious argument. You stood up, in case people couldn't realize that was you who stood up.
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell. What was it that you were yelling at him?
Well, I was trying to remind him that who's going to think about our kids? That the shooter of Joaquin was an American white dude born in America, American citizen, that had access to an assault weapon, legal access to an assault weapon. And then he decided to go to a school and shoot people randomly. So that should be the main thing that we should be talking about.
That was the purpose of that hearing.
That was the purpose of that hearing.
Right.
And besides the other 40,000 people that die per year, as you said it before, not only in Parkland, because this problem is beyond Parkland, we have to understand that, and beyond Florida. I met people from Chicago. I met fathers and mothers that lost their loved ones in South LA and in New York. So this is sadly but true, a common issue that we're dealing with. And this guy is pretending to sell this project in a totally out of content conversation. And that I found it very, number one, wasting time. The guy had 5 minutes. By the way, I don't know who this guy is at this point. And probably he doesn't know who I am. Maybe, I think he does, but he's saying that
He's saying that he didn't know you were the father of a victim.
That's fine.
Right.
But no one else that is not concerned about this issue is going to be in that room.
Well, the fact that he didn't even know, and this is an incident in his state, you know, and he doesn't know who you are, that speaks volumes as to where his priorities and his thoughts are. I want to, in the remaining time that we have, we are approaching this 1 year mark. Reflect on it for me. Just take a little bit of time and just talk to me about what this last year has been like and what you've tried to do. You've started an organization, Change the Ref.
Correct.
I know that you'll be unveiling a new installation. You've been doing art installations. You're an artist. You speak through your art.
I'm an artist.
And that's how you're channeling your energy, your anger, your desire for change.
Frustration, yeah.
And you're unveiling something in New York next week. What can you tell us? And just talk about this last year.
Well, this is going to close a loop. The first year is going to be over. And hopefully we will understand how to deal with special occasions during the next year, because we already went through that. My birthday, my wife's birthday, my daughter's birthday, all that. It's going to be over. I am an artist, and I decided, along with my wife, that we were going to make Joaquin an activist instead of a victim. That makes us still be fathers, parents. I feel proud that I have a son that, besides being a victim, is a leader of this movement. Believe it or not, and I know it sounds pretty weird, but it's something that is helping not only us as fathers, but it's also helping a lot of people that is starting to feel the power of our movement. We use art to send the right message. We think that we have a culture problem, and I believe that we can fix it by just changing the message itself.
And so in New York, you're going to be unveiling. What can you tell us about this?
I have a program. It's called Walls of Demand. We have done 16 already, all across the nation. Wall number 17 will be unveiled in New York on the 14th. It's a huge wall. It's 17 feet by 34. And it has a very strong statement and message.
Can you tell us what it is, or you want to reserve
it? It's related to Valentine's Day, of course, and how now that has another meaning, and it should have another meaning for the whole nation, not only for me.
I started this by talking about how this movement has been different than other shootings that we've seen, whether it's the church shootings or, you know, the terrible shooting of the grade school kids in Sandy Hook, or the shootings in Las Vegas. Why do you think the Parkland shooting has not faded, has not sort of disappeared from the public, perception, and why it's still at the forefront?
I think it's thanks to what the kids are doing. The kids decided to take this by their own hands.
How amazing are these kids? You've gotten to know them.
Oh, they're good friends of mine. They are very amazing. And we've been all around. That's the only group that I really trust and have hope that things will be different. I have been with politicians, I have been with, you name it, like people from different industries. These guys, they know what they want, and they're going to make it happen.
What do you want, in our closing moments here, what do you want people to remember about Joaquin? And you talk about him as if he's still here with us in terms of as an activist, still fighting, still doing something positive. What do you want people to take away as we approach this 1 year mark?
Joaquin wrote a letter 6 years ago asking and demanding for universal background check. And that is amazing. What I want people to remember from Joaquin is that he was able to write letters to the NRA before that was a cool thing to do. So he knew exactly what he wanted his friends, his dad, his mother to fight for. We are just like the extension of Joaquin. And he will be that leader that when they see him, they say, he's a guy in front of fighting gun violence.
Is this Thursday going to be very difficult for you?
No, it's just going to be, every day is difficult. Every day is, without my son, is going to be difficult forever. But Thursday is just going to be another day that is actually going to give me an opportunity to make a statement. So besides of looking at Thursday as a difficult day, I think it's a great day to make my point.
Joaquin Oliver, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you coming in. The demands on the families are incredible, and I really do respect you for taking the time to come in.
Thank you very much.
All right. Up next, we continue to look at the future of the Broward School Superintendent, Robert Runcie. That's when we come back.